Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I have too much to talk about, so I'm not going to do any introduction. First of all, on Fukushima in Japan, terrible disaster, horrendous. They've been hit by a couple aftershocks over there, very large ones that qualify as major earthquakes themselves. But I still think the fear-mongering surrounding this is too great. Okay, first of all, yes, it's a huge disaster. Yes, there's radiation everywhere. Yes, people are being affected, millions perhaps, and this is going to go down as one of the biggest disasters in history. There's no question about it. I decry it. I think it's horrible. I think Tepco and GE should be held accountable for this, and the Japanese government should be doing more than even they are. Okay. But it is my firm belief the Japanese will bring this under control. There will be a resolution to this. Yes, it's going to affect millions of people. Yes, it's a terrible disaster, but I still do not think that the dire, world-ending, world-shaking nature of this is going to turn out to be the case, as is being trumpeted by so many people in the fear-mongering crowd. And I'll leave you to decide who those are. I wanted to talk about the Long Island serial killer. You know, some of you may know that I'm a follower of Francis Deck. Just Google him if you don't know who he is. He came from Long Island. We had Colin Wilson up in, or not Colin Wilson, sorry Colin Wilson. We had Colin Ferguson up in Long Island. The Long Island subway train killer guy. And now we have this serial killer up there who may have connections to law enforcement. I just thought it was a weird coincidence, strange synchronicity that we were talking, me and Peter Lavenda were talking about the dismemberment aspect of the shamanic ritual, whereas his belief is that the psyche of serial killers may be a beginning shamanic transformation which is portrayed in real life rather than within the mind of the burgeoning shaman, and that is that the dismemberment aspects are translated into real life killing and dismemberment. And now we are finding that there may in fact be some dismembered bodies among the dead up there in Long Island. And the fact that there's a police connection here too, this all makes me wonder, and the reason I bring it up is there some sort of ancient curse or ancient sinister forces working up in the Long Island area? Were there mounds up there? Were there some kind of Indian burial ground? Something like this, okay, which may be a historical angle to this whole thing, this terrible bloody tragedy up there. Could there be a historical angle? Could there be some kind of sinister activity in ancient times that is, you know, working itself out in modern day times? Just something to think about. Okay, so lastly, let's talk about the budget. Okay, I've already talked about Paul Ryan's passport to prosperity, which is in actuality passport to the fucking poorhouse for the poor and middle class and for seniors. Okay, first of all, the hypocrisy of the Republicans. They take the Obama gutting, stabbing, and murdering $500 billion cuts to Medicare and keep that as part of their budget, and then they privatize Medicare. So they want to fuck seniors twice over, okay? That's number one. They take the extreme approach. Then you have the supposed Obama budget plan, which is rumored to be it's going to be coming out today, but it's rumored to have cuts to the so-called entitlement programs and some tax increases. Well, here's my prediction on how this works, okay? And this is the kind of political theater that we have where everybody works for the corporate America, corporations, okay? And basically tells the rest of the country, fuck you, we don't give a shit about you. Rich, we give you everything we can. Corporations, we give you everything we can. You people who make up the vast bulk of the country, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, because we don't serve you, we serve our corporate masters. So this is all political show, understand? Okay. So Obama is going to propose cutting, programs, entitlement programs, even more, even though he already raped Medicare, okay? And he's going to propose some kind of modest tax increases on things that don't matter and which won't raise any revenue at all. Okay? But the Republicans are going to jump on this, and it's going to seem like, oh, it's a terrible battle between the two. So where's the compromise going to lie? Get rid of the tax cuts that don't do anything anyway. They're symbolic at best. And keep the cuts to Medicare and other entitlement programs. Okay? And remember that entitlement programs, I reject the word entitlement programs, entitlement in there, because it portrays the idea that people are getting something for nothing, which is, not true. While, spending on these programs are a large slice of the budget, what is routinely ignored and not talked about is the fact that they have a revenue generation stream through FICA and Medicare taxes, which eliminates their total impact on the budget, but no one ever talks about this, of course. If you take the revenue aspect generation of it and you subtract that from the total budget, the impact on the budget is lessened, okay? And it approaches and makes it in parity with the defense budget, which is where I think we should have massive fucking cutting, okay? The last thing, and remember this, that's what this whole scheme is. 2011, as I told you, and it's going to turn out to be absolutely true, mark my words. It's a year of compromise. This is what this year is all about, okay? Meaningless gestures in one direction that can then be thrown away, okay? While the real agenda is carried on, and that is cutting of Medicare, cutting Medicaid, cutting and gutting Social Security, and these massive austerity programs that don't work. They don't work. Deficit reduction in a recession, depression does not fucking work. And you have the additional 10% tax break on the wealthiest and on corporations through the Republican side of the corporate party. And then what's going to end up happening is that even if you don't get that 10% reduction that the Republicans want, the compromise will be somewhere in between, which will mean they'll get something. And everybody else gets fucked again. There is a progressive caucus in Congress. You wouldn't know about it from any media. It may just be a lightning rod for progressives and be the same political shillery going on that you have with Ron Paul. But have a look at their budget proposal. You can find them online if you do a search for them. But basically, they actually have a plan that makes sense in the most part. I don't agree with all of it, but check it out. They want to raise taxes on the rich. Oh, horrors! They want to cut corporate welfare to oil and gas industry. It's like Dracula with a cross. So terrible. They want to end Afghanistan and Iraq. We can't do that. Never mind that all those countries want us out of there, and we could save billions and billions and billions of dollars. I don't even hear anybody even give a whisper to this fucking idea. So check out the Progressive Caucus budget proposal, if nothing else. Now I want to talk about this idea of inaction again. Okay. I don't want to hear anybody bitch about anything unless you're being active about something. And as I pointed out before, people who decry, everything that's going on and do absolutely nothing about it, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm sick of your fucking shit. If you're not willing to get active about policies that you agree with, and here's the key. There's no sense writing Congress anymore, okay? I talked about this before, and I urged everybody to get politically active. We're beyond the political activist stage now. We need to target corporations. Find your member of Congress, okay? Look him up on the internet. Find out who his corporate sponsors were for his re-election campaign, and look at his voting record to find out how he has sold his soul to the corporations because he's owned by them. And then target those corporations. And, boycotts are nice, but I'm talking about direct interference with commerce. Okay? Block their fucking storefronts. Set up protests out in front of the banks that have given them money. While at the same time pointing out that your congressman is owned by this facility. That's the kind of activism we need right now. Prevent their trucks from rolling. Prevent people from doing business with the bank. Prevent the companies from getting away with their outright theft of their congressmen and by extension the country itself. That's the kind of activism we need now, because the corporate shills that are our supposed representatives will not listen to you, and they will not change anything. At best, you will get a fucking canned response, as I continuously get from anybody that I write to. So that's going to be my goal this summer. I'm going to target my representatives and my senators by going after the corporations that support them and have bought them, while pointing out that they have been bought by these corporations. And I'm going to do my best to interfere with the commerce of those, and I suggest you do the same. And if you're not willing to get active, shut the fuck up. Simple as that. So remember, my compromise of 2011. Obama, yes, tax cuts I'm going to put some meaningless tax increases over here in a sniveling, snively way. And have cuts to the entitlement programs. And the compromise? Get rid of the meaningless tax increases and keep the cuts. So, once again, fuck you to America. Fuck you to seniors. Fuck you to the poor. Fuck you to everybody else but the rich and corporations, which will continue to get richer and benefit in this recession economy while jobs are lost, people lose their houses, everything else. So, you want to get active? Start interfering with commerce. Start going after the companies. Start going after the people who have bought and paid for your representative in Washington, D.C. That's the answer. That's the only thing you can do now besides, marching in the streets and getting more active in that regard. But if you're not willing to do that, I don't want to hear anybody crying. I don't want to hear anybody bawling if they're not willing to get active. If you're not getting active, and anti-war as well. Throw that in there too, because chances are a lot of these companies that you're going to be targeting in your targeting commerce aspect of your protesting, chances are a lot of these companies are going to be intricately tied into the military-industrial machine, which supports our war. So throw the anti-war message in there as well, because ending Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Pakistan, and activities in Africa and everywhere else around the world will save hundreds of billions of dollars, of course. And that's another avenue for, trying to rein in what's going on in this country. So just some thoughts for now. Thank you. Good day.